So we just watched the brand new movie on Shudder called Destroy All Neighbors, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another iPopcorn for that review. I'm Chris.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Casey.
Yeah, Casey is back.
I'm back.
So, we're talking about Destroy All Neighbors. So this just dropped on Shudder. This is a sort of an ensemble cast, or at least a cameo-loaded cast. And I guess I'd call it like a splatter-comedy. I guess it's a comedy horror, but it's really not going for a whole lot of horror. It's just going for gore. What do you guys think about this thing?
Alex Winters was fun to see in it. His character that he plays is a nifty little guy. Well, I guess he's in it twice, isn't he? He plays a lawyer in it, yeah.
It's really I had to Google. I was trying to resist the urge to Google who's playing this neighbor, but yeah, Alex Winter. I guess we should say a little bit about the plot of this. So it's a pretty simple plot. It's just a guy in an apartment complex that is very hyper fixated on his prog rock music project, and he's trying to complete his magnum opus. And no one in the world seems to care at all about this album that he's so preoccupied with. And he's got this neighbor that's super loud and obnoxious, to the nth degree, like a cartoon character neighbor, like we said, played by Alex Winters, heavily prosthetic. He looks like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder,
yeah,
with the fat arms and hands and everything. But
I didn't pick it up from the trailer, but the second I saw him in the movie, I instantly knew, okay, that's Alex Winter. And with that and the effects, I was getting flashbacks of him in that movie Freaked that he did.
Well, I haven't seen that.
90s. Yeah, it involved a lot of that gross out humor, and there was lots of heavy makeup and prosthetics. That's Alex Winter's jam. He's used to that kind of thing.
I think it's funny to take a comedic horror turn on something that I think everybody can relate to. I think we've all had really obnoxious neighbors and trying to figure out how to handle the situation. But it kind of turns into I think it's not really a spoiler. It's the whole plot of the movie, and it's all about the trailer and everything like that. But he ends up accidentally killing this obnoxious neighbor, and
he slips.
Essentially nobody stays dead. Yeah, well, he doesn't kill him. He does slip, but it doesn't, for the intents of the movie, it doesn't matter that it was an accident. But it kind of turns into if you've ever seen the horror comedy movie where they're accidentally, all these kids keep accidentally killing themselves around them.
Oh, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It kind of was giving me a little bit of Tucker and Dale versus Evil vibes, because it's just man, this guy can't catch a break. He keeps just accidentally manslaughtering people left and right. Yeah, so I mean, how did the humor work for you guys? Did the humor land for the most part? Is it a little over the top, goofy to the point of not being funny, or what did you guys think about it?
I wasn't getting a whole lot of laughs, at least at first. Towards the end, when it starts getting over the top and goofy, I was getting some laughs. But yeah, a lot of the jokes were kind of referential. It takes place in a universe where everyone seems to know what prog rock is, and they all have a comment about it. I'm gonna skip forward to Kumail Nanjiani's part. That got a big laugh out of me. He always makes me laugh.
That was pretty great. He was. It was funny to see him, and yeah, that did get one of the biggest laughs out of me. The guy from that most people know from
Thomas Lennon.
There you go. Yeah, it plays his boss, and that whole scene I thought was pretty funny, where it's this guy who I guess is a small level celebrity is kind of calling all the shots at this recording studio, and that guy essentially fires our main character here instead of his own boss. So there's some funny stuff there. I thought that for the most part this worked. I mean, it's not rolling around on the floor dying laughing hilarious, but I'm kind of growing to these little I don't know, small scale. You can tell people put a lot of heart into this, and it's a bunch of goopy practical effects and splatter gore and stuff like that. It's not taking itself seriously at all. It's not really asking you to either. And I don't know. There's something about that I liked. I don't know. Where were you at on it, Nick?
Oh man, I didn't like the movie.
You didn't like it?
No, but I think I kind of from the get-go didn't like the main character. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Ray, maybe he's not a very good actor, and I think that took away from the whole thing for me.
I think the problem with this, it runs the risk of being like an SNL skit that runs too long. Like it's kind of like they made the joke and then they keep going with the joke. So, it's not like this is not a 10 out of 10 movie, even as much as I did actually enjoy it. It's just, I got some enjoyment out of it, even despite the fact that it like certainly did and it's not even a very long movie, but it did overstay its welcome at a point for sure.
Yeah.
And also, like, did you notice it's like the ADR or something about Alex Winter's voice as the neighbor was like, I can't hardly even make out what he's saying half the time. Like, it's like garbled in the mix.
Yeah, and apparently neither could whoever does the captions for Shudder, because they would just put unintelligible sounds for a lot of, like, whoever does the captions at Shudder just does not give a fuck. They're just like,
those guys
they were just putting the wrong words. And they're like, yeah, whatever. I don't know what the fuck this guy's saying. Okay.
Thankfully, I was able to make out some of what he was saying because I watch with subtitles. I watch everything with subtitles. I'm one of those types of people. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like if they just give up, like, whatever, figure out loud noises.
The problem too is like he's funny in it, and like it being as over the top as it is kind of works. But so this doesn't. I don't know if this really detracts from it. I mean, it's not like he's trying to win an Oscar here, but like. He doesn't stick to any one particular accent. Like, I can't tell where he's like broadly European, and I can't tell where he's trying to sound like he's from at any given moment. And sometimes he just loses it altogether and is just doing like his own thing. But also just the sound mixing in this in general. I mean, I was watching this on headphones, but you would think that would be better. I don't know. But like, just the sound mixing in general was like kind of muddy and sloppy, and you can tell there's, they're not working with a big budget here or anything. But so I think some of the practical effect stuff like worked for me in the same way that something like Onyx the Fortuitous worked, or it was reminding me a little bit of like Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny sometimes too.
Yeah, I think that was the positive of the movie for me was the practical effects, but like the comedy didn't really land, and I didn't like Alex Winter's performance. His performance was probably the best in the movie. Thomas Lennon was good, but like I said, I didn't care for Jonah Ray or his girlfriend or. I actually don't know him from anything. I don't know about you guys. He has done things before, but I don't know him from anything. Yeah,
he was in the reboot of Mystery Science Theater 3000 that came out recently. Like he's the straight man that plays off the characters, the more funny characters that comment on the movie, and I feel like he's kind of almost playing that same kind of guy in this movie. Like he's like a straight man and he's dealing with this crazy situation, and all of these dead people are pretty much dealing out the comedic bits, and he's having to riff and play off that.
I can see Mystery Science Theater being a good practice for this kind of movie, because you're right, it's like this guy plus a bunch of gross puppets. By the way, the girlfriend character, I don't know what to say about her except that it felt like she was inconsistently written, where it's, and again, like the kind of movie we're talking about, who cares? But it's like I couldn't figure out if she's supposed to be like overbearing, needy, pushy girlfriend that we don't like her, or if she's like supportive girlfriend that we do like and they're just having a hard time right now, or she runs the full gamut of being like overbearing and supportive, and I don't know. And at the end of it,
nag. She kept nagging him for copy paper, man.
Yeah, but then at the end of it, like, I guess in some sense of the word, they're together again at the end, and I guess we're supposed to be happy about that, but I kind of thought he might be kind of miserable with her. I'm not sure what was I supposed to think about them as a couple. Well, I don't know. It was that
didn't make sense to me either, because she walks into him like having a dead body in front of him and then leaves calling the cops, and then the cops have her trying to talk him down, and then she's like, I'm gonna stall for time so you can finish what you're doing just because you finally decided to finish your fucking record. Why is she like cool with him? Like, oh, he's doing something, I'm back in. But he just murdered somebody.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing, like early on in the movie, he's so upset about this loud neighbor, and it is like extremely. It's not like a mildly annoying neighbor. It's like an extremely obnoxious sounds coming from over there, and she's just acting like it doesn't bother her at all. I'm just gonna go to sleep. Nothing bothers her at all. She can sleep through anything. And at a point, it's almost like, is everybody on crazy pills? And like nobody's acknowledging that this is a little too much over here. And then when you see, like when he calls the cops or whatever, and they show up at his house, and she's in there with the neighbor, and all buddy with the neighbor, I'm like, okay, I guess we hate her. Like I hate her right now, And then it's like, no, that wasn't the point. You're supposed to like her. I don't know.
Well, there was a time where I thought, at a certain point, I was like wondering if this was all just going to be kind of in his head, because at one point in the movie, like, he kind of has a realization, like, wait, I've been the loud, annoying neighbor, and like, that would probably explain why his girlfriend doesn't really notice the noise or nothing, because he's just always in the corner messing around and making his music and everything. So she just has learned to tune that kind of thing out. So I figured maybe this whole time it's all just been him.
She tells him to wear earplugs, and he can't wear earplugs because he's got like extra small ear holes. I thought that was funny for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, at some point, I think I just like embraced the level of goofball energy we're dealing with here, and like when it starts to culminate at the end, and they're like recording the album, I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm in for it. Sure, like knock it out. But yeah, like I said, the joke kind of outlives itself. It could have. There's things that could have been done better here, but I got some humor out of it. So for me, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah, there's some fun jokes that landed for me. Like at the very end when he's having to stand off with the police and he's stalling for time, and he has his girlfriend tell the Big Bear story, and that got a laugh out of me. Probably because I'm from California, but they make a joke like, oh, she's telling a Big Bear story. Everyone's got a Big Bear story, and like
he's like, depending on how she tells the story, we've got between 28 and 38 minutes.
Yeah,
that was all right.
Yeah, there's some good stuff here. Like I said, I can see somebody being like you and watching this and being like, no, it doesn't. The comedy either works for you or it doesn't. And like something that I think of as pretty similar, like Onyx the Fortuitous, that might land for you and this might not, because these are kind of different vibes. I think this was like even different from like Pick a Destiny.
I just think he has this motivational quote throughout the movie where he says something about his music where it's like, not everyone is going to get it, but those who do get it will get it, And I kind of feel
been
like
a metaphor
for the movie, and
right?
Because like this has a very niche audience, like you have to be into the gross out practical effects and everything. Like I personally am. That knocked out of the park with me. People who love prog rock would probably be into this, and most likely people that like prog rock are also into these kind of gore-fest movies. So it's just like a small, tight group of people that would watch this movie and just totally love it.
Like once the building manager gets fried, like electrocuted or whatever, and then he goes and like says goodbye to her or whatever, and that, I don't know why that still surprised me, but when her body wakes up, I was like, I should have known that was coming. And for some reason, that was like the point where I was like, I'm just letting myself over to the absurdity of this movie. Fine. Have a corpse, produce this album for him. Sure, why not?
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna say this movie was like a 4. I didn't really care for it that much, but it was okay. Like that were the practical effects I liked, and Alex Winter, I liked his performance, and other than that, don't like prog rock either. Apparently.
I was sitting there thinking, like, this is almost not half bad.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like a 7. What about you over there?
Yeah, that seems fair. I'm not the biggest prog rock fan, but some of that I have listened to, I enjoy that kind of music. Above all else, I love practical effects. I love silly, gory movies, and even if the writing and everything's dumb, I still get like a kick out of the practical effects and just watching the spectacle that is being shown before me. So that being said, I think I'm gonna mirror you, Chris, and give it a good 7. I enjoyed it. It was really fun. I'd said it has some rewatchability. I would recommend this to some people. I know some people I could think of right now that I'm gonna probably recommend to. I'm like, you should check out this movie. So
you haven't seen Onyx the Fortuitous, have you?
Oh, I did. I really enjoyed it.
You did watch it?
I expected it to be a lot worse than it really was. I thought it was a good.
How would you compare that to this? Like, would you say same kind of fan base here, or because we're kind of differing on you had Onyx the Fortuitous is like one of your top 10.
Yeah. This one I did not enjoy.
I'd say they're probably on the same wavelength. I honestly think this movie, Destroy All Neighbors, I keep wanting to say Destroy All Humans, I think that would have more of a following, because I think there's lots of Mystery Science Theater 3000 fans out there.
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why?
And Alex Winter producing a movie like this with practical gore, you're going to get the freak crowd wanting to watch this.
And getting names like I guess Onyx didn't get any big names really that I can think of right now, and this got Kamal Nanjiani, this got you know, and I think
mean, the biggest
weren't
name
there
that Onyx got was dang it, I already forgot his name. Reanimator, brain fart. I'm sure you can edit it in for me.
Just throw it up on screen.
Yeah, please.
Well, anyway, we'll get out of here. But yeah, if you like this kind of thing, hit like below. That helps our channel out a lot. And hit subscribe if you haven't already. We're on our way to 500 subs. And yeah, we just appreciate you watching as always, guys. And we look forward to talking to you in the next one. We'll see you later, guys.
See ya.
See you later. Can you hear me now?
Talking to the goat, please.
Getting to the goat.
Thank you.